Hi children, welcome to today's chemistry class. Do you remember what we studied in the last class? We were discussing about salts. What do you mean by salts? Salts are the product formed when an acid reacts with base. And these salts consist of two parts, that is a negatively charged ion and a positively charged ion. Today we can discuss about common salt and the important chemicals that we can prepare from common salt. Okay. So first we can study about common salt. Do you know what is the chemical formula of common salt? Yes, it is NaCl, sodium chloride. That is the chemical name of common salt. And how can we prepare this common salt, or from where we are getting this common salt? By evaporating seawater. We can prepare common salt by evaporating seawater. But the seawater contains so many other salts like calcium chloride, magnesium chloride. So many salts are there. So when we are evaporating this seawater, the solid substance we are getting will consist of our sodium chloride. Along with that, this calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, all salts will be there. It will be a mixture of different substances. There are different salts. Along with the salt, it will contain some impurities also, some sand particles, mud, etc. So the color of that salt or the color of that solid substance we are getting by evaporating seawater will be brown. And that solid substance we are getting is known as rock salt. So from that rock salt we have to purify, or we have to prepare our common salt. And that process is known as crystallization. So by doing crystallization we will get the pure crystals of sodium chloride. Common salt or sodium chloride is also known as table salt because it can be used as an important food material. It is we are using this in food items, isn't it? To increase the taste of food items. So it is also known as table salt. And the table salt means it is not the pure sodium chloride, but it contains small amounts of potassium iodide also. And such a salt we are using is also known as iodized salt. So iodized salt means it is a mixture of sodium chloride and potassium iodide. And why we are using this iodized salt in food? This iodized salt contains small amounts of iodine, so it can prevent us from thyroid disorders. Okay. And now we have to study about the important uses of sodium chloride or our common salt. Can you tell what are the uses of this common salt? The main important use, it is used in our food items. Then it can be used as a preservative. When we are keeping mangoes and all for a long time, we are adding this salt, isn't it? So it will protect that food item from damaging. So we can tell that this common salt is used as a preservative. Then by mixing with ice, it can be used as a freezing mixture. Then it can be used for the preparation of many other chemicals. Important chemicals can be prepared using this common salt. That is the main use of common salt or sodium chloride. Okay. So next we have to study what are the important chemicals that we can prepare from our common salt. Okay. Now the first compound or the first chemical we can prepare from common salt is sodium hydroxide. Its chemical formula is NaOH and it is commonly known as caustic soda. So the first compound that we can prepare from sodium chloride is sodium hydroxide. NaOH, its common name is caustic soda. Now we have to study how this sodium hydroxide is prepared from sodium chloride. So in the preparation of sodium hydroxide we are using an aqueous solution of sodium chloride. That aqueous solution, what do you mean by aqueous solution? The solution of sodium chloride in water, that is known as aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Aqueous solution of sodium chloride is also known as brine solution, and through this brine solution when we are passing electricity we will produce sodium hydroxide. Along with that chlorine and hydrogen also will be produced. So the method of preparation of sodium hydroxide is by passing electricity through brine solution. So we are getting sodium hydroxide as one of the product. Two more product also will be there, that is hydrogen and chlorine. Okay.
The equation can be written like this, that is 2NaCl plus 2H2O gives 2NaOH plus H2 plus Cl2.
So here in this process we can understand that what are the products. First one is sodium hydroxide, that is an alkali, and the other products are hydrogen and chlorine. Chlorine and an alkali are produced. This process is known as chlor-alkali process. So the name of method of preparation of sodium hydroxide is chlor-alkali process. Okay. So by using this method, we can prepare sodium hydroxide. Along with sodium hydroxide, two other important products also will be formed, that is hydrogen and chlorine. These three products are very useful product. Now we can study what are the uses of these three products. Okay.
First, we can study what are the uses of NaOH. It is used in the manufacture of soaps and detergents. It is used in paper industry. It is also used in making artificial fibers, and it can be used as a laboratory reagent. Now, next about the uses of hydrogen. Hydrogen can be used in the manufacture of ammonia, and it is used in hydrogenation process, and it is also the liquid hydrogen can be used as a fuel. Next about the uses of chlorine. It is used for disinfecting water, and it can be used in the manufacture of bleaching powder and chloroform. Then chlorine can be used in the manufacture of pesticides, CFCs, PVCs, etc.
Another important compound we have to study is bleaching powder. Have you heard this name? Bleaching powder is one of the important commercial product, and it is mainly used for disinfecting water. Bleaching powder we are commonly used for disinfecting water. We are adding in our open wells. Okay. Then this bleaching powder, it is a yellowish colored powder, and its chemical name is calcium oxychloride. Bleaching powder is chemically known as calcium oxychloride, and its formula is CaOCl2. CaOCl2, and it can be prepared using chlorine. To prepare bleaching powder, we have to pass chlorine gas through dry slaked lime. You know that slaked lime is calcium hydroxide. When we are passing chlorine gas through dry slaked lime, we will get bleaching powder. The equation can be written like this. That is CaOH twice plus Cl2 gives CaOCl2 plus H2O. This is the equation for the preparation of bleaching powder, and it is very, very important. Okay. Next, we have to study about the important uses of bleaching powder. The main use of bleaching powder is to disinfect water. Okay, it can be used for disinfecting water because in presence of air, it will liberate chlorine gas. That chlorine gas is capable of killing germs. So, bleaching powder can be used for disinfecting water. Then it can be used for bleaching purposes. That is, in textile industry, it can be used to bleach cotton and linen. Like that, in paper industry, it can be used to bleach wood pulp. It can be used to bleach wood pulp. Then like that, it can be used as an oxidizing agent in many other chemical reactions. Oxidizing agent, it can be used as an oxidizing agent in many other chemical reactions. So these are the main uses of bleaching powder. Okay. The next compound we have to study is baking soda. Have you seen baking soda? It is commonly available in our kitchen. Your mother is using when she is preparing cake or other bakery items. Do you know why she is adding this baking soda while preparing these bakery items? Baking soda has the ability to make the food item soft and spongy. That is why we are adding a small pinch of baking soda while preparing these bakery items. Cake, biscuit and all things. Okay. About this baking soda we have to study. As already we have studied in previous classes, some chemicals are having two names. One is their official name and one is their common name. Here baking soda is the common name of that substance, and it has a chemical name or official name, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate. And its chemical formula is NaHCO3. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, NaHCO3, that is the chemical formula. Okay. Then this sodium hydrogen carbonate, it is also preparing from sodium chloride, that is from our common salt. And to prepare this baking soda or NaHCO3, we are using an aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Through the aqueous solution of sodium chloride, we are passing carbon dioxide and ammonia gas. And as a result, we will get baking soda as one of the product. One more product will be formed here, that is ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. So the equation we can write like this: NaCl plus H2O plus CO2 plus NH3 gives NaHCO3 plus NH4Cl. This is the method of preparation of baking soda. Okay. Now why this baking soda, or how this baking soda is able to make the food item soft and spongy? It is because when this baking soda becomes hot, or when we are heating, this baking soda will undergo thermal decomposition and producing three products, that is sodium carbonate, H2O and carbon dioxide. So when we are heating baking soda, it will undergo thermal decomposition and produces three products, Na2CO3, H2O plus CO2. And this carbon dioxide produced there helps in making the food items soft and spongy, or the presence of carbon dioxide make the food items soft and spongy. Okay. Now when this baking soda becomes hot, it produces Na2CO3, H2O and CO2. The equation we can write like this: 2NaHCO3 on heating gives Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. Okay. Already we have studied that while we are preparing cakes and other bakery items, we are adding baking soda. But we are not adding baking soda alone. Instead, we are adding a mixture of baking soda and an edible acid like tartaric acid. Instead of adding baking soda alone, we are adding a mixture of baking soda and an edible acid like tartaric acid. And that mixture of baking soda and a tartaric acid is known as baking powder. Okay. So baking soda plus an edible acid called tartaric acid is known as baking powder. So this baking powder we are adding for preparing the cakes and all. Why we are adding this baking powder? Why we are using baking powder instead of baking soda? It is because this baking soda, in presence of this tartaric acid, it will produce carbon dioxide. Along with the carbon, that presence of carbon dioxide make that cake soft and spongy. Already we have studied, isn't it? So in presence of acid also, this sodium hydrogen carbonate can produce carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide make the food item soft and spongy. And along with carbon dioxide, sodium carbonate also produced, that is Na2CO3 also produced. And this Na2CO3 is basic in nature or alkaline in nature, and it will have a bitter taste. We know that basic substances are having a bitter taste, isn't it? So this Na2CO3 is having a bitter taste. So if you are using this baking soda alone, Na2CO3 will be produced along with the carbon dioxide, and that will result in the bitter taste of the cake. So to avoid that, we are adding a mixture of baking soda and a tartaric acid. What is the advantage? Here tartaric acid is there that will neutralize the basic character of Na2CO3. That tartaric acid will neutralize the basic character of Na2CO3, and as a result we can avoid that bitter taste. Okay. So while preparing these cakes and all, we are preferring baking powder than baking soda. What is the difference between baking soda and baking powder? Baking soda means sodium hydrogen carbonate alone. Baking powder means it's a mixture of baking soda and edible acid like tartaric acid. Now this baking soda has some other uses also. The first use already we have seen, that is it is used in the preparation of bakery items. Then the second use is that it can be used as an antacid. That already we have seen, isn't it? It is basic in nature, so it can neutralize the excess acid produced in the stomach. So it can be used as a medicine to cure acidity. That is known as an antacid. It is the second use. Then the third use, it can be used as used in fire extinguishers. What is the reason why this baking soda is used in fire extinguishers? It is because already we have studied that when we are heating this baking soda, it releases carbon dioxide gas. And this carbon dioxide is a fire extinguishing gas. So we can use baking soda or NaHCO3 in fire extinguishers because when it becomes hot, it releases carbon dioxide gas. That carbon dioxide gas can extinguish the fire. Okay.
The main uses of baking soda are: it is used for making baking powder, it can be used as an ingredient in antacids, and it is also used in fire extinguishers.
So this is all about baking soda. I think it is clear for all of you. So study well, okay? These compounds are very, very important. Some more compounds we have to study that we can study in the next class.
Till then, take care. Thank you.